Hi, I'm Jack and I'm back. And this is a quick update on one of the projects I'm working on. This is the 57 Corvette front end at 3/4 scale. It is foam, insulating foam. It is tape. It is slats from blinds. It is more aluminized tape. It is clay. It is plaster of Paris. Anything that I needed. You can see I've got some wood on there to hold things down and some aluminized tape and some clamps. It is cured. I fiberglassed it earlier today. It's been a couple of hours and it's cured. It is only one layer of fiberglass mat. It might not be enough. So I will pull it apart and see how rigid it is. I know that flat hood is not going to be very rigid, but the rest has a lot of curves, so it might be rigid without the support structure underneath. Let's see what else. Oh, so if you watch my previous video, the clay was not a good choice to use. It was either stayed too wet or when it cured, it cracked bad. That's probably because I was doing it too thin of a layer. I was just trying to smooth things out. And then tried to use plaster of Paris on top of that. I've used it in the past, it works. The problem is the clay had so much water in it that the plaster of Paris kept absorbing the water and the plaster of Paris never would cure completely. So what I ended up doing was putting aluminized tape over everything and then applying the fiberglass. Unfortunately, I forgot to wax after I did the tape. Looked like it was going to rain, so I was in a rush. That's my excuse. And I just plain forgot. I think I will regret that. But the good thing is with all of these interface layers, all I need is for one of those interface layers to let loose. And I'm sure one of them were probably the clay, since the clay was wet, or it was dry and cracked. So it will probably let loose. But again, like I said, I don't care which layer lets loose, just one. I do want to try to reuse the foam. What I'm going to try is flipping it 180 degrees and then doing the missing side over there. This is only half. So I'll do the missing side over there. That'll allow me to have the structure copied between the two sides. Obviously, I'll have to undo all of my slats, blinds to do that. It'll have to be completely disassembled, everything flipped 180. When I glued it together, I hot glued everything together. When I glued it, I made sure I glued everything in the center so that when I flip it, when it comes apart, it won't have damaged any of the edges. It will only damage the center portion, which is no big deal. But I'm going to show extreme patience and not try to disassemble this tonight. I will disassemble it tomorrow, even though it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I was rushing trying to get all this done from the rain. I do see there's a bump right there. Oh, and this is only one layer of fiberglass mat, so it's not going to be real strong. But with all of the curves, I think most of it will be okay. The hood's going to be real floppy. And this area over here might be a little bit floppy because it's flat, but all of these curves should hold their shape. This side is supposed to be flat, and with all the mess up with the clay and the cracking and all that, I was going to only cover the area that is not flat, and then I was going to make a flat piece and just put it on there, graft it on there. But I'm not 100% positive about the wheel opening. So I thought, you know what, I'll just go ahead and make the whole side. And when I get everything nailed down, the wheel opening and all of that, then I will make a flat sheet of fiberglass, put it on, graft it on here so that this will be absolutely flat. The other thing though is I'm planning on putting the cove on there. If you're familiar with the 57 Corvette, it has the cove on here. I plan on putting that on there, so there may not be much flat area when I'm done figuring out where the cove is. And that's the other thing. I've got to figure out where it goes, how it goes. So there's still more work to do, but I just am trying to keep things moving along, and that is this. All right, like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate, and if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.